Namaste, Caribbean Hindustani. This is Raj. With us is a special guest. He'll introduce himself.
Hi everyone, my name is Shifar Abdoelaziz. I live in Suriname and I've been performing, studying music for the past 17 years now.
And what's amazing about him, I find out, is his love for percussion and the various instruments that he can play within the percussion realm. What types of percussion instruments can you play, sir?
So actually my first instrument, my percussion instrument was tabla. I started off with tabla at the Indian Culture Center here in Suriname. And afterwards I picked up dholak, and nowadays I play a lot of percussion instruments such as dhol, tabla, bongos, conga, djembe. So it's not just only Indian percussion, but also other forms of percussion instruments.
Amazing. And then also, not I'm at his house, but this is also his workshop too, right? Could you tell us a little bit about your workshop?
Yeah, so after playing for a long time, I started making my own dholak puris, right?
Wow.
The membranes. So after doing that for 2 till 3 years, I just thought about how was it going to be able to make the instrument in his home. So that's the moment where I picked up building my own instruments. So I built percussion instruments such as dholak, tabla, and kanjira.
Oh, Kajira.
Yeah.
Amazing. And what type of woods are you using? I'm curious to know.
Yeah. So different makers use different kinds of woods. What's in their availability, of course. But most of the time I use mango wood.
Mango wood, yes. I hear mango wood is great. Okay. Let's
Specify it as a tropical hardwood.
Tropical hardwood. Yes. Well, that's good to know. So, out of all the percussion instruments, I'm curious to know: is there a favorite?
That's a really tricky question. But after studying music, and I'm still studying, of course, I came to notice that I actually don't need instruments to make music.
Absolutely.
So everything could be an instrument. For example, your body. We can then talk about body percussion. Actually, you're using your first instrument right now, and that's your voice.
That's right.
So that's also another form. So yes, it's a lot of fun to play a lot of different percussion instruments, but a percussionist has everything in his hands and in his mind. He doesn't need a certain type of instrument to make music. So even a table would do, the chair, or your body, as I mentioned earlier.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. And then I also came to know, while spending some time with you, that you also sing as well, right? And you play a bit of harmonium as well.
That's correct. That's correct. As I said earlier, I still study music, so I'm doing my bachelor's in music education. Actually, it's my second bachelor's now, and in that study, I do have to play piano and I do have to sing. So
Right.
besides playing percussion, I also sing and play melodic instruments now.
Great. So that means that you have knowledge of Western notation, Western music as well, classical music.
Yes.
And I believe when it comes to percussion, you understand bowls and etc. That of course you picked up tabla.
Yes, of course. Because the first tabla lessons I got, actually every tabla lesson I got was from the Indian system. So that means bowls, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Dha, na, tin, tin ta, dha, din, din, da, din, din, da, tin, tin, ta, din, din, da. Right? So I didn't learn it by just looking at what the fingers are doing. I had to learn that theoretical part also. And afterwards, when I picked up Western music, I also learned the Western notation. So when I teach now, I use a combination of both systems
So
because
really-
I know the pros and cons of each.
Of each. So that's amazing. C, D, E, F, and so forth. So yes. I'm just curious. What do you usually tune your dayan for tabla?
The dian we use in Suriname are mostly C sharp, D, or at most E.
E. So E. Wow.
Yeah.
So there. So E. Okay. So there you go. There's some proof right there. Understand Western notation. So that's excellent. Very good. So could you tell us what is your future plans to do with music overall?
So actually, the first plan is to keep myself happy. That's the first plan, because I am doing music for myself at the first place. So I want to be, or actually I am also. I'm already working professionally with music and other colleagues, music colleagues. What my vision is to have my own music studio
Okay.
and to be able to teach students all over the world. So not just Suriname. We'll start here, of course,
Yes.
because I live in this country. So I want to have students that are very well educated, students that know what they're doing, and especially if there are students that really want to do something professionally with music, just as I am doing right now. I want to encourage them, because not everyone is meant to be a doctor or a lawyer.
That's correct.
Because most of the time, people or young children, they get stuffed up with these things that you do have to become an engineer, you do have to become a doctor, otherwise you won't make it in life. Let's just look at Ustad Sakit Hussein. So he's a great example of a percussion player. He's not even a singer, he's a percussion player. But he's world famous now, not only in with Indian music, but jazz, also jazz. Everybody knows
Everybody
him.
knows him. Yes, yes.
So
good point. Good point.
why can't we do that? So I really want to encourage people, and that it is possible to make a living out of music if you put a lot of effort in it.
You're living evidence.
Yeah, that's a good one. And of course, I want to go further with my instrument production. So I will be producing a lot of percussion instruments.
Well, I can attest that Shifar Bhai is an excellent instrument maker. We have purchased Scribbin Hindustani has purchased 3 drums from him and given them to children that are in need or interested in learning, and they're enjoying them. Thank you. And not only that, but he is a great teacher as well. Right now we have a child with Scribbin Hindustani, and he's teaching him. And how is he doing so far in your eyes? To me, he's doing wonderful.
Yes, of course. I think every student that has a will, a strong will become something. Will do something with music. You as a teacher have to find a path for each student. Every student is different, of course. But up till now, he's perfect.
Perfect. And we're doing that via online as well.
As well.
So those who are interested, not only can you get your drum from him, but he can also teach
all over the world.
All over the world. And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So how many students do you have now that come here to learn?
So approximately it's like 30 students now.
30 students.
Yeah, both private and group lessons. Yes.
Well, that's great. I'm really thankful. Could you share with us who your teachers are, maybe a little bit?
Yes, my first teacher is I consider him as my most important teacher. That was my tabla guru. That's Shri Shailendra Madari. That's a very popular tabla player among us in the Caribbean.
Yes, yes.
Everybody knows of it. So I'm also very thankful to him that he has inspired me to become a good musician.
Yes, definitely, definitely. He also, if you wish, and you want your drum made by him specifically, all you have to do is give the wood. I mean, if they wish, they can bring their own wood, right?
Yes.
I think he does do special. He also does customization.
Yes, of course. So I have my own wood, but if you have a requirement, you want a certain type of percussion instrument, just give me a call, hook me up on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever, and we'll try to arrange something.
Right. And I believe you're more than willing to travel too. If there's some workshops or if there's a need, you're willing.
Yes, of course. I'm here for my students, for my audience, my fans. So if that means that there's a need somewhere else in the Caribbean or out there somewhere else. I'm willing to travel and share my experience with the rest of the students and those who want to learn music.
Great, fantastic. I was really touched by. Well, who taught you Dafla? I'm curious about that.
Yeah,
Briefly.
so there is somebody who plays Dafla here, very good if you ask me. So I listen to him a lot, and he personally knows me too.
Great.
So
First-hand experience learning.
yeah. But if you're in the music business and the music industry, things become each time you go further, it becomes more easier. You know.
Definitely.
So at certain point, you just have to listen to something to be able to play or reproduce the sound.
Absolutely.
So,
And for those who do not know what Dafla is, basically it's a larger version of the Dafli or Tapu
yeah.
that we would know it in Guyana and Trinidad.
And South India.
South India as well, yes, amongst the Tamil Malayali Telugu community. So I was really impressed by that because that's an instrument that we're also working very hard to preserve and to document.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So those who are willing to learn can learn it as well. And when they're learning that too, is there a bowl system that you teach?
So actually, there's not really a bowl system for that, but we can use a combination of both.
Absolutely.
So I'm not really positive about students looking at my hands and reproducing that. So I will of course give theoretical notation for that. But that would be my own.
Right, and that's the great thing about Shifar Bhai that I find unique about him is the music theory that he has, his preservation of music theory with each instrument, and the way to teach each instrument through using musical notation specifically, and that's, I think, unique and very important. So with that, Shifar Bhai, I'm really glad. Could you tell us what the name of your organization is called, or your school?
My school, my performances, and the instruments I build all go under one name, and that's Shifar's Studio of Percussion. So it's like SSP. Once again, Shifar's Studio of Percussion.
There we go. I'm thankful. Once again, thank you, Shifar Bhai, for having us here.
Very welcome. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Namaste, Hindustani. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shifar Abdoelaziz. I have a very beautiful instrument here, and it's called Dafla. In its original form, it's actually a modern version of the daf, tapu, or perai. The difference is that we have a synthetic head on this, and of course, the size is a lot bigger. भले तख्त के नीचे सुला के छोड़ गया, अजीब शख्स था सपने दिखा के छोड़ गया। ये उजला घर तो उसी